All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus Show. I am Lupagus, rocking it solo here tonight. As you may well be aware, the NCAA championship game is, well, tonight or yesterday or tomorrow, depending on when the hell you're watching this and when it goes live. The Alabama Crimson Tide taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Pretty much the same damn matchup we get every other year. But definitely worth watching for some Minnesota Vikings fans because there are some prospects playing in this game that could potentially be considered with the Vikings' first round pick or later down the draft board. And we are going to talk about six-ish names to watch in that big game. So let's hop right into it here without any further delay. The big one, obviously, quarterback Justin Fields from Ohio State. Don't have to talk about this too much because the chances he actually makes the 14 of the Vikings are very, very slim. I mean, this guy can do it with his legs. He can do it with his arm. Yeah, he's not always the most accurate quarterback, but, we've seen plenty of guys with his skill set make it in the NFL. Lamar Jackson, just with a huge playoff win today. So, the precedent's there for him to succeed in the NFL. So I saw, I think it was Tom McShay or Mel Kiper had this guy falling to the Patriots. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that it actually happens. If it does happen, I will kiss a fat man's ass on this video. You look at who's picking. I mean, Trevor Lawrence already locked in the number one. Okay, so he could go to the Jets. He could go to the Falcons. He could go to the Lions. He could go to the Panthers. There's just too many teams picking ahead of the Vikings for him to realistically fall all the way down to us. So watch Justin Fields, appreciate what he can do. Do not picture him in purple because you're only going to give yourself the shits. The quarterback to watch is Mack Jones from Alabama. He's the one who could be there at 14. Should the Vikings take him? I don't think they should, but he is considered and he is rising up the board. So if he does declare and comes out, he's someone who could rise up by the time we get from now till the draft. To me, he reminds me a lot of Kirk Cousins. He's accurate and he's not super athletic. He stands tall in the pocket, can deliver the ball. He threw for 4,036 passing yards this year, 36 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. So not only accurate, but smart with the football, not making bad decisions with the ball in his hands. He is a one-year wonder, though, so that is a bit of a concern. You like to see a little, at least, if I'm going to put the 14th pick at a quarterback, I want a guy who's done it more than 1 year. So, again, worth watching, see what he's got. See what he can do tomorrow against the Ohio State Buckeyes. So definitely keep your eye on Mack Jones because he is in the cards for the Vikings when we're talking about the 2021 draft. Another one on Alabama to watch is wide receiver Devonna Smith, the Heisman winner. Wide receiver on paper, first blush, not the biggest need for the Minnesota Vikings. They got way, way greater needs. D tackle, defensive end, guard, tackle, safety. But wide receiver, if all those needs are gone, there's no one there, don't force something. If the best player on the board is Devonna Smith, the Vikings should definitely take this guy. 6'1", 175 pounds, coming off a season with 105 receptions, 1,641 yards, and 20 touchdowns. Think what's coming down the road for the Vikings wide receiving core. Adam Thielen, he's got 2-3 years possibly left. You got Justin Jefferson, and there's not much behind him there. BC Johnson, blah. Chad Beebe, blah. Getting a guy like Devonna Smith may not make a lot of sense at first blush, but looking long-term, looking down the road, pairing him with Justin Jefferson, ooh, doggy, that would be really, really nice. So watch Devonna Smith, and again, outside chance he could be your Vikings first-round pick this April. Let's go up to the big boys now on both sides of the ball. A guy we've talked about a lot on the One Bar and Lupagus show. One Bar fantasizes about him nightly, sometimes in the shower. Guard Wyatt Davis. This guy did opt out to start the season, came back, and now he's an All-American and playing for the national title. 6'4", 315 pounds. Mean as hell, tough. He's one of these guys you just take, you plug in at guard, and you're set there for the next decade, assuming you re-sign him. You put him on the Vikings O-line, immediately upgrade the position. You're probably upgrading the guy next to him, Garrett Bradbury, as well, and whatever tackle is on his side, if he's left or right guard. You're basically going to upgrade 2-3 positions with one pick. The question is, where exactly is Wyatt Davis going to fall? I mean, 14th overall pick. You really want to take a guard. Vikings fans would be ecstatic about that because our O-line is so shitty. But I've seen this guy mocked as high as like 9. I've seen him in the second round. So who knows where his final range is going to be. Maybe he's a guy the Vikings could move down, get that second round pick back, and then still take later in the draft, later in the first round. But again, watching him tomorrow against this awesome Alabama defensive front will be exciting. It'll be a good battle to watch and just kind of get a good gauge of where he's at and how he could fit into the Vikings scheme next year. Another offensive lineman, Alabama tackle / guard, Alex Leatherwood. Not only does he have a really fun name, Leatherwood, but he's 6'6", 312 pounds. He can play both guard and tackle, sometimes at the same time. Very powerful. Again, his range it's early in the draft season. Earlier in the season, we're just getting in draft season. I mean, this guy was up in the first round conversation. I've seen him in mocks going in the third. He's all over the map. Again, where he ends up, I don't know. Definitely not an option at 14, I don't think, but you're looking at him, maybe a guy who falls on the board, sneaks to you in that third round. So watching him tomorrow will be something to definitely do and just kind of, again, see how he fits in and see how athletic he is. He looks like he's a good scheme fit or not, but definitely keep your eyes on Alex Leatherwood. And the last guy is also on Alabama. It's their defensive tackle, Christian Barmore. He's a redshirt sophomore, so who knows if he's going to declare or not. 6'5", 315 pounds. This guy is just a wrecking ball. He can play the 1 technique or the 3 technique. With Michael Pierce here next year, Vikings take this guy. He's definitely going to be your 3 tech. He's not 3 tech. He's not going to be your 1 tech. He can penetrate. 19 tackles on the season, 7 sacks, 7.5 tackles for a loss. This guy eats double teams like it's breakfast. Again, I've seen him all over the board. Again, one of these other guys, it's hard right now. First of all, he's got to declare. If he does, combine comes up. You read some reports on him. They're saying he won't get over the top 50 picks. If that's the case, there's no way the Vikings are going to get him. You don't take him at 14. He ain't going to fall in round 3, but you never know. The draft's a crapshoot. Guys fall, guys rise. So maybe he's one of these guys that you can just steal in round 3 like we did last season with Cameron Dancer. So I'll definitely be watching him. So just to recap, Mack Jones, Devonna Smith, Wyatt Davis. Those are 3 guys definitely on the board for the Vikings with that 14th pick, and then some other guys to watch. Alex Leatherwood, Christian Barmore. Again, where they fall in the draft is kind of up in the air at this point, but definitely keep your eyes peeled for those. And there's a couple other guys we didn't really mention. Chris Olave, just one to come to mind. I don't want Jalen Waddle too. I don't want to list like 5 receivers, but a lot of talent in this game, and that's why these 2 teams are playing for the national championship. So enjoy and watch this through purple lenses and start getting those draft day juices and crushes started and flowing. So enjoy the game and always remember to keep your skull in your hole.